welcome to Banter and Such. I'm Brando.
And I'm Owen.
And today we are talking about Jake Gyllenhaal!
One of the craziest, weirdest actors to ever live, and I absolutely love him. And, of course, this wasn't Brando's idea.
Nope.
This wasn't my idea.
Not at all.
It was our guest's idea, the gore whore queen herself, Lexi Redding.
Hey, guys. I know, kind of off-brand for me. I feel
You're like, we're doing Jake Gyllenhaal my next episode, and you have no fucking choice, Owens.
Lexi texted
Verbatim.
us and we were like, okay.
Sure, I guess so.
We don't have a say in this. This is going to be fun. Let's get into some BS.
Okay, so before we get into all the spicy sausages of Jake Gyllenhaal, we got to give you a heads up on some Helios Network stuff.
Yes, check out our merch at theheliosnetwork.com, theheliosnetwork.com. We're actually, Owen just showed me the designs for the new Master and Debaters hat, and it looks really cool. It looks really cool. Like, we'll be able to put it up on the website here soon, maybe when this goes live.
It's going to be a very limited edition print.
Yeah.
It's going to be, we're going to only do about 50 hats, so probably only 40 of them will be on the website for sale. The other 10 we'll keep for our sake.
I got to get my hands on one of those.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But it's probably not going to be until like April or May. That's how like the production takes a while because we're doing some really high quality stuff for these hats.
Yeah, but you know what? We'll tweet it out on Instagram too so you can see the pictures of it beforehand so you can get all excited about it. But I'm excited. Yeah. It's theheliosnetwork.com.
Also, if you'd like to support the show, check out our Patreon. Link is in the show description. You get a bunch of extra bonus stuff as well as a discount on merch if you subscribe to Patreon. Ooh. As well as bonus banter. You get to suggest topics, talk to us, and
all that stuff.
Yeah, and we'll send you pictures of Lexi's feet.
Yes, and our butts too.
And our butts.
Our only butts.
Our only butts. Yeah.
It's just our bare butts.
Have you guys, Brando? I don't know how active you are on your personal Instagram, but have you seen my close stories lately?
No.
Okay. So I DJ. My DJ name is DJ D20.
Ooh.
And I was DJing at Up Down a couple weeks ago for Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And they found this picture. It's a shirt. It's a shirt they found in one of the owners in Cincinnati, Ohio. And it's a dude, bald beard and glasses. And I'm not kidding you, also looks like me.
Oh.
And he's playing pinball butt-ass naked. And it's like puts his hand on like his butt and is like turning around doing a sexy pose. And I'm not kidding you. I'm DJing and all of a sudden everybody starts laughing. I'm like, what's going on? I turn around and they had put it up on the screen behind me. And I legitimately, I posted on my close friend story on Instagram. I was like, if you want to see more, Venmo me.
Dude, there's a billboard right on Ellington Parkway when you get into East Nashville. And the guy, it's like it's a little illustrated guy, and he looks like me. He's got like my hair, my glasses, and my beard.
I know what I'm doing.
And he's making a face that I always make. He's not naked. I mean, he's just a regular billboard guy.
I don't need. Yeah.
I've had so many people come up to me. He's like, dude, are you on a billboard? And I'm like, I don't think so,
Not
man.
yet.
The FBI's most wanted. Have they found me? Oh no.
Lexi, what about you? Have you been on any billboards lately?
No,
Show us your receipts. Why? Okay, so in all honesty, why were you so gung-ho about doing a Jake Gyllenhaal episode?
I think when I started talking to people about their favorite Jake Gyllenhaal movies and how nobody said The Bubble Boy, I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And I honestly haven't seen that movie in 10 years, but it was the first movie that I've ever seen Jake Gyllenhaal in. And then how could you leave out Donnie Darko? And then the list goes on and on and on. So that's why I'm here. I'm ready for you.
Well, you're on all of our, like, we always have you in the Spooktober special.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're in all of our spooky stuff. You do a lot of the spooky cosplay and all that stuff. It's amazing, too, by the way. And you were on
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. Well, I guess that doesn't fit the mold, but I was going to say.
But we did go
one
together and see Adam Sandler live at Bridgestone Arena last week.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, now that you said that, my wife is going to hear this now because the other night she was like, I am so bummed out that we're not going. I was like, it's not a big deal. And now she's going to hear this episode and get pissed off.
It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Sarah,
it was great.
The tickets were so expensive.
Dude,
unless you looked at day of.
Yeah.
I've heard some crazy stories. Someone was like, yeah, I paid $40 for a ticket.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was
Now
like an
he's
hour
really
before
gonna be mad at me.
a buddy of mine was like, oh, I'll go see Adam Sandler and install a ticket for like $30. It was like up in the nosebleeds. But,
Oh, but still.
But man, I mean,
great.
to get on Jake Gyllenhaal though, I absolutely love Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he's I meant what I said. He's one of the very strangest, weirdest, all over the place actors. And even if his movie, like overall the movie that he's in isn't good, I always love watching him because he's so different.
Yeah.
In
Can I ask
every
what
movie
you think he like? You know, were you just saying that as like a generic statement, or do you think that he's in a movie that
Prince of
isn't
Persia.
good? Oh, okay. Well, I haven't seen that, so I can't talk about it.
He's great in it though.
Yeah, but he's normal. I mean, he's kind of average in that one.
Yeah.
Like as far as like his character isn't really but noteworthy, but like in most of his filmography, like if you look at the movies he's in, he's like all over the place. I mean, like
he is.
you said Bubble Boy, so I hadn't seen Bubble Boy.
Ever?
You've never seen Bubble
I've
Boy?
never
Oh
seen
my
it.
gosh.
I sat down and I know Jake Gyllenhaal. Like I've seen Donnie Darko, I've seen Prisoners, I've seen all these great movies, and he is like a serious actor. Like he's all over. And then I watched Bubble Boy. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Who is this guy?
It was like an Adam Sandler movie. You know, it was funny because
And
it was
for
so
me,
goofy.
to start as a goofy thing, and then I'm seeing all these other movies like Donnie Darko. I'm like, this is the same.
Who is this
guy?
goofy ass dude?
Who in the
And he's like serious
so
in so many roles. Like in Donnie
Yeah.
Darko, he's
Yeah.
Well, he's like dark and serious, and then in Prisoners, he's just like serious. You
yeah.
know?
But
Even in
yeah.
Zodiac, he's pretty serious.
yeah. I mean, Jarhead, Zodiac, Brothers, Prince of Persia, Source Code. I mean, so every single time we've done like an episode of Banter and such, like I always end up watching more movies than what we end up talking about.
Yeah.
So I got to watch some of his other like a little bit more obscure stuff, and I was like, man, I've never. I can honestly say this. I don't think Jake Gyllenhaal has ever portrayed the same character twice.
Okay.
Acting style wise, like like if you go see a Clint Eastwood movie, you know what you're getting into, right? Clint Eastwood plays Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
he's the same person, pretty much the same person in every single movie,
Which is fine.
fine.
A lot of actors are that way, and that's cool.
yeah,
yeah.
But
'cause
Jake
that's just
Gyllenhaal
their
is
style.
not that
Yeah,
way.
no,
He really does have a range.
yeah.
I mean, because we said Bubble Boy, and then Donnie Darko, he's kind of like depressed and kind of mellow, you know. And then
Even the colors are different of the movies. You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I mean? And it's.
well, I watched Jarhead for the first time ever. Also,
Ooh.
I saw
yeah.
that years ago when I was a kid, and I remember seeing it. Couldn't tell you what it's about other
Yeah.
than like army military stuff, right?
yeah.
And that's just not my type of forte.
Well,
so
that's
I never
exactly,
wanted to rewatch it.
exactly.
But maybe I should.
I mean, that's the point. He plays this military kind of jock, you know, and
yeah.
and he's like suing, and then going like from that to like Donnie Darko to like this like kind of like, you know, goth kid who listens to like music, you know, and then Bubble Boy. It's like, dude, you're all over the place, and he's
Literally.
convincing in all of these roles.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where we talked about how like Clint Eastwood is Clint Eastwood. Like there's never a time where you're like, that wasn't Donnie Darko, but was that
Yeah.
sorry, Jake Gyllenhaal, but was that Jake Gyllenhaal? You know what I mean? In the sense, he's very authentic. And like you said, he's very good at like portraying his characters.
Yeah.
So you're like, that's definitely Jake Gyllenhaal. He's a phenomenal fucking actor. But then
Yeah.
you see these parts that he's in and you're like, who put this man in this script? Like, where did he come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't see him like with like, for example, Nightcrawler.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he's just this kind of like crazy sociopath, and he looks kind of like because even like he lost weight or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
If
Yeah, he lost like 20, 30 pounds. So funny enough, Nightcrawler, I think, is Jake Gyllenhaal at his best.
I think so too. Yeah.
It's not downplaying his other movies. It is he goes like jaunt or gaunt, I forgot what it is, because he loses
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
pounds.
Yeah.
I don't know if that guy blinks in the entire
He's
movie.
got crazy eyes. in that
Crazy
movie.
eyes.
But
like-
they said that about Donnie Darko too. They said that was one of his tactics, where like he doesn't blink every time Frank is like controlling him.
Oh,
So that's like
yeah.
another, and that was the other thing I was looking up, is a lot of his movies always have like a tie in a way. You can tie it to something else.
Like,
Oh.
they're all in the same mythos. Like M. Night Shyamalan or Quentin Tarantino
Yeah,
movies.
well, like-
they all exist in the same world.
Apparently in Prisoners, he has zodiac signs tattooed on his knuckles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then his other, I guess you want to call it like FBI or, solving crimes movie would be Zodiac.
Yeah.
So-
Well, he was a reporter in Zodiac, right?
Yeah, but that was also,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like-
I get it's a
His crime
criminal.
sound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
crime
yeah,
song.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, then you have.
yeah, but then you can tie that again to Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
His like report. There's a little.
Well, I mean, even in Nightcrawler, like he's so eccentric.
Yes.
But then if you look in Prisoners, if you look at that performance, it's really subtle. Like he's got a very subtle performance in Prisoner. And when he does explode, there's like one time where he like explodes and it's like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
it's a good scene.
Yeah, even when he's like cussing out the captain, the police
Yeah.
captain.
Oh, God.
He does it in like a really subdued way.
Professional.
Yeah.
It was like I was like, damn, I wish I could handle myself. He's like, next time, let me know.
That's some
And
good
you're like, okay,
confrontation right
okay.
there. Yeah. If you're not going to be a man of your word, if you're going to fuck me over, then just let me know, okay?
That sounded a lot more like Nightcrawler.
That was
sounded
I
a lot more
can't do
Nightcrawler,
it. I
yeah.
can't do it. I'm not Brando Gyllenhaal, okay?
Wait, are you trying to say you're Jake Gyllenhaal's long lost brother, Brando Gyllenhaal?
I could be.
Just marry his sister. Sorry, Sarah, you didn't hear that.
Yeah, okay.
Sarah, you can come marry me instead.
Hey man,
We'll
well,
swap.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Maggie
She's
Gyllenhaal.
also a
Saying.
big.
Yeah.
I'll be part of the family.
That's it.
The whole Gyllenhaal clan. We'll all get in the movies together. Are we gonna talk about specific film? I went hard into this. I watched so many.
Oh,
of
I
these
have
movies.
watched over the past like 2 weeks. I think I've watched like 8 to 10 different Jake Gyllenhaal
Did you
movies.
really?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Shit.
I've never until Lexi, you came at us with this. Let's do Jake Gyllenhaal. I've never thought of it in those terms before. Like when we did Adam Sandler, I'm like, you think, well, these are Adam Sandler movies. And an Adam
Yeah.
Sandler movie, you know what you're getting. Or like Jim Carrey or
Yeah.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I mean? Those are those types of movies. Whereas Jake Gyllenhaal, I don't think of Jake Gyllenhaal movies, you know? But then when I sat down, I pulled up the Letterboxd app and I saw the movies he was in, I was like, holy shit, this dude is in a lot of
Yeah.
really good movies, man. So I had a great time like
Yay!
rewatching
I'm
these.
glad. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome.
So, Lexi, you did state though that Bubble Boy was your first Jake Gyllenhaal movie, right?
Correct,
Okay,
yes.
Brando, do you remember what your first Jakey experience was?
Jakey G. Jakey G.
Did you not know he was the side rapper to Mark Wahlberg to Marky Mark? It was
That's
Marky
right.
Mark and Jakey G.
Marky Mark.
That's literally the name of my Google Doc.
Oh,
Jakey
God,
G.
Jakey G.
I remember Bubble Boy existing. I didn't watch it, but I do remember it. I think probably Donnie Darko was probably the first one I saw.
Not
Okay.
a bad.
And he's
Not a bad movie.
he was kind of, I don't know, I just thought of Jake Gyllenhaal as that weird kid.
The weird.
And then he started being in all of these like where he was kind of the hero or like the serious
Yeah.
guy. And I'm like, oh, it's the weird kid.
Playing the hero
Here's what's
this
crazy
time.
is I thought Donnie Darko was my first Jakey G movie.
Yeah.
But I'm looking over his IMDb and I actually remember now what my first Jakey G movie was.
Ooh.
It was October Sky.
I was just about to say that. That's such a great movie too.
Dude, okay, do you realize? All right, so
Baby
1999 was October Sky, which goes into the theory that 1999 was the best year for cinema ever.
Yeah.
Because I will say October Sky is an amazing movie.
It is October Sky.
I will
is-
watch it for you guys.
Have you not seen it?
I have not.
Oh, you're in
man.
for a treat
Okay,
because
sweet.
wait until the fall though. It is a great
Yeah.
fall.
Okay,
It's a
okay.
cozy, comfort, feel good fall movie.
Oh,
This is on the list.
Cozy.
Well, if you watch, well, there are parts of it that
Yeah.
are stressful. His dad.
His dad.
We won't spoil it for you, but
It's-
like
it's okay,
it is
Joe,
the
we still can watch it.
classic. Like his dad is a coal miner, and Jake Gyllenhaal. He's a kid, and he's into like building
Rockets. He wants to go to space and build rockets.
and they live in like West Virginia or something. And his dad's like, "You're gonna be a coal miner just like me," and he's like, "I don't want to,
My
Dad."
grandpappy was a coal miner. My father was a coal miner. I'm a coal miner. You're gonna be a coal miner.
But I'm into science, Dad.
Coal is science.
You just don't understand. And it's like it is almost a cliche. You'll watch it and you'll almost think it's a parody.
All I can think of is Rudolph.
Oh,
Like,
gosh.
I want to be a dentist.
Yes, it is exactly like that.
Yeah.
It is that cliche, but it's done so well. Like, and even at the end, like, they reconcile, and that's a really wonderful moment when his dad kind of is proud of him,
Yeah.
finally. But like that whole movie is just so feel good and
Yeah.
and just like you're just like
Aw.
you do it, little Jake, because he's a little guy in that one.
Yeah, so you got October Sky 1999, then Donnie Darko and Bubble Boy both came out in 2001. Do you realize like the dichotomy of how different his characters were in that?
And he was 21.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, he's got a young face. What's the haircut in Bubble Boy? That's what does it. That's what makes you look like a fucking 12-year-old.
Child.
For all the moms out there, don't cut your kids' hair. Even if you think you're doing a good job, you're probably not.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
But okay, so we are going to talk a lot about a bunch of different Jake Gyllenhaal movies, but we're primarily going to focus on Lexi's 3 favorites, which are
Bubble Boy, Donnie Darko, and Prisoners.
all 3 great movies.
So why those 3? Because you said right before we started recording, you had a good reason for those 3.
I think these just stuck out to me the most. Like, I really did like Nightcrawler, but as for his acting, I think these 3 are my favorite. I think they're very diverse from each other.
Yes.
Like, they're all over the place, different sides of the spectrum, if you want to call it. Like, very happy, bright, bubbly to dark and kind of depressing and what the hell is happening? Time travel? ?
Yeah.
And then you have Prisoner, where he's like, please, we need him to save the day.
Yeah.
And when you think about Bubble Boy, you're like, you're looking to get this man to save the day?
Yeah.
Like,
Bubble Boy is not the hero.
not the hero.
But he did. He becomes the
God.
But he also kind of becomes the hero in the end, too,
Well, I mean-
by uniting.
Okay, so let's just fucking go
people.
straight into
Yeah,
Bubble
let's do
Boy.
it.
I
Let's
have
do it.
Okay.
Brando, you have to go first.
There was one scene that just jumped out at me.
Well, first of all, tell us what was the first time you saw Bubble Boy?
It was literally like 2 nights ago. It was 2 nights ago. And I was watching it with Sarah, and she fell asleep. She got mad at me. She was like, this movie, what is this?
No,
This is ridiculous.
Sarah.
And she fell asleep, and I started watching, and I woke her up like laughing out loud at this one scene in particular. Like, it was where like he had like the carnival guys were following him, and the cult was following him. But it was the scene where the carnival people infiltrated the cult.
Yes.
And it was the boy with the like dolphin flippers for arms. And he said he was trying to, and they fought the cult people. So I was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just trying to get Don or get him here." And
What's
they're
your
like-
name?
And he was like, "Hey, what's up with your arms?" And then the carnival guy turned around and was like, "What are you talking?" And I was dying when he looked at his own flippers, and he pretended like it was the first time he noticed and started screaming in horror. And then all the cultists were like, "Ah!
We're mutating!
And he just erupted into chaos. Oh my gosh,
It's
this
just
scene.
the circumstances of every single scene in that movie.
They're so absurd.
Okay,
bizarre.
so if you get easily offended, I would say this movie is not for you.
Well, it's an early 2000s.
It's
a
early-
20-year-old movie.
But it's satirical. It's meant to be like funny. It's not meant to be poking or prodding.
yeah.
Yeah, and
anything.
I also said to Owen, it actually proves a really good point that if you are sheltered and don't get to experience different types of life,
Yeah.
then it's very hard for you to understand that there are people different than you out there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and there's a prime example in the very beginning when he first meets
Chloe?
what's up?
Chloe?
Yeah, the girl next door that he falls in love with.
Gosh, the
And he's
girl
like,
next
"Oh,
door.
you're the whore next door," and she's like, "What?" But it's because he doesn't know what he's
And
saying.
he
He's
just
been so
heard
sheltered.
what his mom is saying.
Mhm.
Well, and he's
Most importantly, like
He's-
he is picking up,
Yeah.
because she's the only person that he can socialize with, talk to, all
Yeah.
this stuff, and so he really only has the thoughts of whatever his mom says.
I mean, and it's funny because it's like how many people are like that. I mean, that's a thing where it's like someone's being offensive or rude,
Mhm.
but like it's because they don't know any better.
They
you know?
literally don't know
And
any better.
and I like the Bubble Boy was like he was innocent and naive,
Mhm.
and it's like because she was able to show a little bit of empathy to him, like and because all the other neighbor
Yeah,
kids
like-
saw him as a monster.
And in that
you know?
scene specifically, she turns around and anyone that's like, "Yeah, you're the whore next door," any girl would have been pissed off and been like, "Yeah, well, fuck
yeah,
you."
well, how
anyway, whatever.
dare you?
And
yeah.
she goes, "Well, I'm actually more of a bitch than a whore," and kind of spins the scene. And then he goes,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely a bitch." 'Cause,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
you
de-
know,
yeah.
he doesn't even realize that
Yes.
she's trying to make a joke.
Yes.
And
I love that because
it really is. There's something like very innocent and pure about
Yeah.
the movie, just to see someone so naive in this big world.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you can.
Well,
You
I mean,
have kids, so it's kind of like if
Yeah.
you know if you don't let them go out and do their thing,
you gotta release.
Yeah.
And there's so many moments of like empathy in this movie because like he comes across these people who are different than him and they're different from each other. And because they have a moment of empathy, or he does, or they for him. And like that's how and of course it's all silly, but they all become friends.
Yeah.
And it all started
And
from
he
like
takes a piece of everybody with
yes,
him.
yes.
Like
I mean, even when like he first meets, which is I fucking love Danny Trejo in
that
this
was also
movie.
the first time I've ever seen him in a movie. So every
Oh,
time
really?
I
Okay.
see him, I'm like, oh my God, he was in the Bubble Boy.
It's
Oh,
the Bubble
desperate-
Boy
yeah.
gang leader. And he does play like the same. He's always Danny Trejo
Yes,
in
but
every movie.
This one he doesn't murder or kill anybody.
And he
Or-
said he likes that he doesn't get killed or murdered
Murdered,
anybody.
yeah.
That was one of the reasons why he liked working in this movie.
And he
That was in a
he's like,
deleted
oh yeah,
scene.
Bendejo, and then literally the rest of the movie, Jimmy Livingston, Jake Gyllenhaal's character, calls everybody Bendejo
Yep.
yeah.
or Bendejo.
He just
Yeah.
doesn't know any better. Like, and
He's just so lighthearted and fun.
everything's new to him, and like it's funny. Like even when he meets Zach Galifianakis,
Oh, I forgot he was in this movie.
As
Okay,
the-
well, that was one of my trivia questions, so I'm glad you knew that. I'm gonna skip
yeah,
that up.
well, in the bus, and he was just so rude to him. But like Bubble Boy didn't
It's
care.
so funny.
I got
He was like,
I got
okay.
5 cents. How far can that get me? Take a step back. That
There.
far.
That far. And he was like, okay, like everything is.
and then gets hit by a bus full of the cult.
Oh man.
Oh man, the cult.
The Todd and Lorraine's, led by
Hi,
Fabio.
Who are you?
Todd.
Todd.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's why they so easily get infiltrated. Because the guy says his name is Todd.
And of course, who's the leader of this weird ass cult?
Oh,
it's fucking Fabio.
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 I did not know any of these people were in this movie at all. Like people kept appearing, and I was like, I know that guy. And of course, so it's funny is the movie itself is a road trip movie.
Yes.
It's like that's the format of
Which
the movie.
was, such a staple of the mid and late 90s.
it's-
There's literally a movie called Road Trip.
It's a super common
Euro
trope.
Trip.
Yeah, if you want to do a like look at how many comedies are road trips because the road trip format just lends itself. You go
Any National Lampoon movie.
Oh yeah, they're all because you encounter all these different people in these different situations, and you can write whatever funny thing you want to happen.
Event Horizon. That's a great road trip movie.
God! Pulling my eyes out.
But I was talking to Owen about it. I was like, but when you can't think about it literally though, because I was talking about how they're in Vegas, and then he's like, I'm close, like New York.
Yeah.
And you think it's a joke because it would be funny for him to not know geographically where he is.
Oh yeah.
But because he has to go to Niagara Falls, he's supposed to be in New York. But how did you get from from Vegas to New York
in one single night.
Literally, not even. Like,
Oh, because he got picked up by the old guy.
By
in the
Pappy.
airplane. By Pappy.
Pappy and Pippi.
And Pippi.
and Poop Gang.
I wondered why they kept like
Punani.
yeah, it was Punani, and then it would make the sound where they
I think
kind of
it's
bleeped it out.
Well, is
They can't
Bubble
say-
Boy rated R?
No.
So they were trying to keep the
Yeah,
It
they
is
didn't want to say
PG-13.
Poontang.
Poontang.
I guess that's a bad word. I didn't.
But you can say Punani, which is why
Yeah.
I was like, they both mean the same thing. So why can you only say one of those?
But I love that it was the same actor, and he's super
Yeah.
old,
Pappy, you're alive. Nah, I'm Pippi. I haven't seen that fucker in 80 years.
and they both die while they're transporting
operating
Bubble
vehicles,
Boy.
yeah.
And he has to escape their moving vehicle both times. It's like you can't nothing. You cannot take this movie seriously because if you look at the premise of this movie, it's a horror film. It's
Yes, it is.
How
It is. You have no immunities.
Yeah.
And you're just out in the world, and literally,
You're kept
Danny Trejo,
trapped.
Yeah.
Slim is like, how do you poop in that thing? And I was like, you know what? You beg a great question.
And then
How
he-
do you?
And he's like, yeah, whatever.
yeah, just no answer. We're just gonna let that one
goes
slide.
on.
I mean, look, maybe Jake Gyllenhaal, Jimmy Livingston, and Jack Bauer come from the same bloodline because neither one of them in 2001 ever peed or pooped.
How are you going to do a show?
Well, I mean, to be fair, he also
24 hours.
he
And
didn't
it's
eat
on-
or drink.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of be practical.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen him eat
Yeah.
anything, so I guess we'll let that.
At
one
least
slide.
half of one episode of 24 is him in the bathroom.
It would need to be.
At least I'm
Yeah.
just going to sit
Guys,
down.
it's been 18 hours. I need to poop.
Just let him go to the bathroom, get on his phone for a little bit, man.
Okay, so it has easily been maybe like a decade or more since I've watched Bubble Boy. So it was I was near you, Brandon, where I didn't remember a whole lot. So I'm watching this, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, this is funny, it's hilarious. And then when I said you can't watch this movie, you get easily offended because it gets
Oh, yeah.
jokingly racist.
When with the Asian guys.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
you want
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's just like, where did that come? This has escalated.
But like, well, the first time it happens, it kind of catches you off guard because you're like, oh, you can't do that in movies. But they keep saying $500
Yep.
over and over again in that way that they say it, and it becomes really fucking hilarious.
It's so good.
You're just like, and
They
then
bring
at the
it
end,
back at the end.
they bring it back, and he screams it back at them, and they're all screaming it back. $500. Oh my gosh, that's just so funny, man.
But probably the worst part of the entire movie, but also maybe one of the funniest moments in the movie. So Bubble Boy runs away, right? So the whole entire point is he's living in a bubble. He doesn't have immunities. He sees that Chloe's about to get married. He's like, okay, fuck you, whatever. And like she runs away. So he's like, okay, I'm going to go do this. His mom and dad are so worried for him. And they're like, well, we know it's only been 24 hours, so we can't post a missing person, so they create a fake ransom letter.
Oh
Which
my
also, can I just
gosh.
interrupt? You do not have to wait 24 hours to report someone missing.
that's not real.
That's not real.
not a real
And they
thing.
also said 48 hours in the movie, which makes it even worse.
Worse,
Like, do
yeah.
not believe that.
Don't. If someone's missing,
Call the
Just
police
report it.
immediately.
Yeah, go
Or
with your
Jack
gut.
Bauer.
Or Jack Bauer.
Or Brando, if it's a day he knows karate.
I got
Detective
karate.
Loki.
Hey man, if I get that call, that's gonna activate my karate.
Gotcha. Okay, here we go.
I'm sorry, back to your
Sorry,
story.
Brando, what's your new number again?
Let me just give
911. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
911.
Call 911.
Call
Ask
me
for Brando.
911. 859. Doesn't matter any number you give after that. Yeah.
But so like they're writing this ransom letter. It's like, we've taken your boy. We want $100,000. If you do not, like, we'll kill your boy. And then she's like,
It's the Jews, Martin. They're gonna want more than $100,000.
it's literally the Jews kidnapped their son. And she says it's the Jews. They're gonna want more money.
They're so naive because you're like signed the Jews, and everyone's
the
like
Jews.
that's not believable. That's not the non-believable part there. It's the part of the money.
It's only $100,000.
Oh my gosh. It is so like that's the thing. The whole movie is like that. It's like just you cannot take any part of it seriously.
It's
like,
just ridiculous after
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yes.
And before we go any further, I need to shout out my man, Matthew McGrory, Tiny from Rob Zombie. Whoa.
That was loud.
Thanks
Sorry.
for that. Rest in peace. He's the best. He's also in Big Fish. He's like the human Sasquatch.
oh the dude. Oh
Yeah.
him.
Oh, Tiny and all the Rob Zombie movies?
Yes,
Yeah.
Tiny and all the
Tiny.
Rob Zombie.
Oh, yeah.
He's the best. I love him.
him, and they had Mini Me,
Vin Troyer.
Mini-Me, yeah.
Vern Troyer.
Vir-
And then they
Yes.
had the dude, like he's like a little guy also, and he was one who like,
The Beetlejuice. His
Yeah.
real name is actually
Beetlejuice, yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Oh,
and I
is
think
that
it's
it?
the coolest fucking
and
thing.
he just kept appearing in scenes,
It's
just
going,
having
"Hello,
fun.
hello."
Yeah. When he was
He's just screaming in the
when
background.
Bubble Boy ended up at where was he? That he ended up it was like a train car or something.
Yeah, he was in the freak show train car.
And he flips the light on, and it's just that Beetlejuice guy. And he's like, "Hey!" Like E.T. being scared by the lights turned on.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this movie? I didn't expect any of this.
No, yeah, you can't. There's no preparing
It perfectly encapsulates what comedies were like back in those days.
Yeah,
right.
ridiculous.
Like it's meant to be over the top, ridiculous. It's not meant to be offensive. It is just meant to just make you laugh.
Yeah, just be silly and just
Yeah.
have a silly fun time with it. And you do.
Yeah.
Like I would say, like if you haven't seen it, just give it a watch and just be like, okay, just have fun.
Just
with
take it for what it is.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Don't
But
think
we
too
got to
far into
move
it.
on to possibly not only one of my favorite movies ever, but I actually think is probably Jake Gyllenhaal's best movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I said, I think Nightcrawler is his best performance,
Okay.
but I think overall Donnie Darko is the best Jakey G movie ever.
Oh,
I support that.
wow.
I support that.
That's a
take.
bold statement. Right
I
there.
appreciate that take.
Yeah. But here we kind of have talked about Donnie Darko a little bit, but it was when we were trying to do like 5 movies in an hour, so we only got like 2 minutes of it. But so we're gonna give some good time to Donnie Darko right now. But I will say, for the record, if you're gonna watch Donnie Darko, you have to watch the director's cut.
That's right.
You have to.
I don't
Why
think
is
I
that?
watched it this time, but I've definitely seen it before.
Remind me
Okay.
because there was
So- Yeah.
there's only one difference in the director's cut.
Uh-huh.
Is in between certain scenes they will put excerpts from
excerpts.
They will put passages from the book that he is reading, the time traveling book that he's reading, up on the screen.
That's right.
Which makes some of the things make sense. For instance, it's like it talks about how the chosen one, which is Donnie Darko, the chosen one will be like gain certain special powers. Like pyrokinetics or super strength. So there's a scene, right, where like he buries the axe in the bulldog's head and they're like, that's solid bronze. How does somebody do that? It's like, okay, well, the book shows you that he gains super strength. Or when he's in Patrick Swayze's house and he burns it down, you only see him pour gasoline. You never see him light a fire.
Ooh, nice catch.
And it's because he's pyrokinetic, so he can just generate fire anywhere.
So for anyone who is not familiar with the movie, Donnie Darko is the literal exact opposite of Bubble Boy.
Yes.
So the movie, not only is Jake Gyllenhaal's character so different, but the movie itself, like it is a philosophical, it's all about philosophy. It's all about quantum physics and time travel, mind-bending concepts. And it doesn't explain things to you.
Yeah,
Nothing
I've
gets
seen that
explained.
movie probably 10 times, and I literally had to Google some things after.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's there. Like everything you need to understand the movie is there, but it doesn't
You don't know where
spoon
to
feed you anything.
Yeah, you don't know where to look.
Yeah.
You don't know what to be like, oh, note take that going for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes after the end, you can kind of watch it and kind of put more pieces together.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that if you're not going to watch the director's cut, at least give it a couple tries.
Yeah,
Granted, it is like over 2 hours, but I think if you really get into it, it's very interesting.
Yeah, this is one of those movies where even if you've seen it, like watching it again, like the rewatch it's like a brand new movie.
Exactly.
Because you see everything in all new ways. Like this is a super rewatchable movie.
Yeah, I
In
agree.
fact, I didn't like it the first time I watched it.
Oh, really?
I feel like
Okay.
most people wouldn't, to be honest, just because it comes off like you feel like you get no answers. There's
Yes.
no like resolution. It's up to you to figure the fuck out what they meant.
Yeah.
You know? But I agree that I think you should watch it a couple times.
Yes.
Like if you're going to say, oh, okay, this sucks, give it at least a second try and see. If it still sucks, then all right, you know what? I'll give you that.
I just got my mind blown
Ooh.
real quick.
Uh-oh.
So I'm on, whenever we're talking movies, I'm always on an IMDb page. Like, that's why, because like questions come up, I can look them up. So,
I'm following right behind
got
you,
that
buddy.
tweet. So his little sister, and it's Samantha Darko.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to butcher this. Davy Chase, I want to say is her name.
The actress?
The actress. I never heard of her before, never seen her in anything.
Me neither.
She is the voice of Lilo
No shit.
in Lilo and Stitch. And you ready for this? She played Samara in The Ring.
No way.
She's the girl
What?
in The Ring.
With the hair?
Yeah.
Wow. That's weird, man.
Right?
That's a crazy foreshadowing. Was that her first movie? Donnie Darko?
Let me see here. So Donnie Darko was 2001. The Ring was 2002.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. When you think about it, her hair is really long.
She was in voice acted for a couple different things. Donnie Darko.
From Lilo to Samara from The Ring. Like,
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it was literally that. It was Donnie Darko, Lilo and Stitch, and then The Ring.
Yeah, I mean, this is like you get to the end of this movie and it reframes the whole movie again. Like you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But it is like Donnie Darko is so good at like really creepy scenes. Like there's some really creepy, and there's nothing like gross or
Scary,
anything. Yeah,
yeah.
there's no like jump scares. Not that I remember, but I do remember like there's just some spooky stuff.
It's suspense, and it builds on it.
Yeah,
where
and it's eerie.
It's
Yes,
eerie,
like- yes.
yeah. And you're right. There's no real jump scares. There's a jump scare for you. There is one like towards the end, but it's not really jump scary. It's just like, oh shit, right? Like it's just like, oh, that's happening when they go into the basement and the dickheads are in the basement.
Yeah.
But the rest of the movie, it's like, who is
dickheads?
Grandma Death?
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen, yeah.
His first movie.
Hey. Well, didn't your dad stab your mom?
I'm Seth Rogen. And I talk like this for some reason. I can't. That's
actually not far off.
I'm close.
It's close.
I need to practice that.
Yeah, you can do that. It's not as good as your Michael Caine.
I don't have occasion to bring up the Seth Rogen impersonation. We need to bring this up in the show more.
Oh shit! And look who just walked in, Seth Rogen himself.
Hey guys, you're the Seth Rogen or I'm the fucking Cookie Monster. I don't know which.
I really turned my
Seth,
head.
tell us.
She was like, "Oh shit, who's here?"
How did you find our studio? Are you just that big of a fan of Banter and such?
I love your fucking show. Oh, I want to make it into a motion picture with my friend Dave Franco or James Franco, one of the Francos,
And Elmo.
and help.
Bert and Ernie.
C is for cookie. It's good enough for me. I'm sorry. Everyone just turned this off right now. For those of you who are still with us.
But yeah, you're right. It's just eerie. It just builds on it where nothing really truly gets explained.
Mhm.
You know, it's just about a kid who's mentally troubled. He sleepwalks at night. One night while he's sleepwalking, an aircraft engine falls into his room, and he finds out that he's the chosen one that's supposed to save the world.
Yeah, and all of the information, and that's why when you brought up the director's cut, that is a good point because that book it's like an in-universe, in-story book, and it's kind of like explaining quantum physics and like, well, in this theory, this is what would happen. And that right there is the source of a lot of answers to the movie.
Yes.
So like the elements are there, but yeah, you don't know what's going on. And that's part of the fun because you're like, what is going to happen next?
Exactly. You're like, I'm just waiting to see what the fuck is going to happen.
You know what my favorite part about this movie is? I mean, the entire movie's great.
Suck a fuck.
Yes. How does one suck a fuck? No, it's not suck a fuck. It's a soundtrack.
Ooh,
The
yes.
fucking
Tears for
soundtrack.
Fears.
Tears for Fears,
That
Duran
song,
Duran.
That song, anytime I hear it in anything, I could be in a store, I could be wherever, and I'm like, Donnie Darko.
Do 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 do.
And for anyone who is with us still,
Thank you for sticking with us. I cannot control them.
Our paths in life must be righteous.
I'm seriously doubting your commitment to Sparkle Motion.
gosh, it's been a
Can you
while.
imagine
since
if
I've seen it.
someone said that to you, like came up to you and was like,
I made your daughter lead dancer.
and she's like, I'm doubting your commitment.
To Sparkle Motion.
Because in the middle of this, he is in high school.
Yes.
He's just the world is ending, but also
And he's
in
going
high
through
school.
puberty.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh man, it's a great one, man.
yeah.
And that fucking bunny suit, man. We haven't
Frank?
even mentioned that.
Frank.
And you're like, dude, what the hell is that? Because that's the most iconic imagery. I think
It
that's
is.
even the movie poster.
Yeah.
Is that bunny suit?
I
And
have
you're-
it framed in my house.
Yes, and you're like, what the hell is that? It is super iconic
Very.
and very creepy. Every scene that it appears, you're just like, ugh,
And that
ugh.
voice.
Oh,
Why are you wearing that
Wake up.
stupid bunny suit?
oh
Why are
gosh,
you wearing that stupid man
man
suit?
yes, it is.
And it's just him, Donnie Darko, with a knife in the bathroom,
Stabbing
stabbing
a mirror.
an invisible wall of force or the mirror or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Who are
weird.
you talking to? Nobody.
yeah. The movie theater,
Oh, man.
the movie where he's in this, and he just turns to him, and he's sitting in the seat next to him, and you're like, ah,
What happened to your eye?
yeah.
You find out later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Have you ever seen a portal?
that scene goes in a different direction, though,
Yeah, oh,
depending
yes,
on what version you're watching.
yeah.
Can we also talk about one of the other best reasons to watch this movie? Drew Barrymore
Oh.
being a teacher.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love her for that.
We need to get the swing sound effect from Wayne's World on the soundboard just for Drew Barrymore.
I mean, this is at least the second time we've talked about her on an
she
episode.
is such a fucking babe in this
She's
movie.
amazing.
So
But
that's-
I also like her
Yeah.
character. I think they casted her really well. Just from that, what was it? I think the first scene that we see her in, and Gretchen comes in,
Mhm.
and Gretchen's trying to figure out where to sit, and she says, "Sit next to the boy you think is the cutest." And then the whole classroom cracks up, and she goes, "Shh, let her choose."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh."
And that's one of my favorite scenes too, because it
That's
pans
intense.
to like all the high school boys in the room,
Just
and all
like-
like yeah, like looking is like, yeah, you gotta sit next to me. I was like, man,
Poor
No.
poor high schoolers.
High school's rough, man.
It is. Middle school and high school. It's just like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry you got to do that.
Did you guys go to like middle school and high school that required uniforms?
Yes.
Oh,
I
you-
didn't. No.
My whole
You
life.
didn't really,
No.
Mr. Pastor?
Public school, dude.
Okay.
I went to public school. We barely wore clothes at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we got
That's
sent
true.
home for showing our elbows
Oh,
and our
God.
fucking
Wait,
shoulders.
so you
and
had to
our
do
fucking
uniform?
ankles. Yeah.
No, man, I'm
Was,
sorry.
was it like
Catholic
a
school.
Catholic school? Really?
Yeah.
Sarah went to Catholic school.
And high school was all girls.
Oh, wow.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
It wasn't
And for
then,
the
though,
listeners
I'll
that
tell
are
you that.
still with us,
Let's...
we're now talking about Donnie Fucko.
No, the Sarah went to private Catholic school too, with the whole uniform, the tall socks, and everything.
Yeah.
And-
See, I've heard, because I was watching this movie with someone, I asked them that question too, and they're like, it was great because I never had to plan what I would wear.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm like, I could see that. It still just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah.
And that's why when I went to
This isn't Hogwarts,
college
okay?
and now I'm like, I wear bralettes, ripped jeans, chains, you know, I'm like, rebel.
You know what? You're the reason why everyone had to wear uniforms. Because you show up to class looking like that, and they're like, all right, uniform.
You think you're going to get away with that, Missy?
Being topless
Yeah.
is legal.
Get a bar soap. Get it.
Put a plaid skirt on. You're
Make
making
it
everyone
short.
horny.
And
Here's the thing, fuckers.
Just
Those
gonna
things were
make it
made.
worse.
Those were made of wool. That shit was not comfortable. That shit was itchy. That shit was not fun.
Oh,
Wear socks that go almost to your vagina.
Sarah told me how like she would protest. All the girls would protest because in the winter they had their skirts and they'd be freezing because they have the bare legs.
Oh no, we were allowed to wear stockings in the winter.
See, she wasn't allowed to, and so like, what did they have? I think they had some like boys or something. They were protesting. They been a big thing.
Listen,
you
good
know?
for them for protesting the Catholic school.
Yeah.
Period.
And they changed it to where the girls could wear pants or
Yay!
something like that.
Love
yeah.
that though.
Yeah.
Inclusivity.
I know, right?
I was in a skort in like 6th grade, upside down on the monkey bars. Like, why did they do that to me?
It's like this is
Like, who
not
thought
good.
this through?
No,
Like, anyway, back to Donnie Darko.
Yeah. Anyways. So one of my other favorite scenes to talk about Drew Barrymore is the whole cellar door scene.
Remind me of that one.
Wow. Did you not watch this movie?
I not this round.
Did you like? Are you married with kids?
It's been a couple years.
Like, what's going on? Why are you
Married
not
with
watching the material?
I watched like 8 other Jake Gyllenhaal movies
Wow,
that we're
thanks.
not talking about right now.
Okay,
You guys
so,
want to talk about Enemy?
Oh God, I haven't watched that one yet. That's
I
on
don't
my
think
list.
I've ever seen that.
That's a weird movie.
All
Talk
right,
about
okay.
not knowing what the hell is going. And the ending comes out of fucking nowhere.
Ooh, love those.
And then it just ends, and you're like, what the fuck
did I just
happened?
watch? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore, she gets fired because she's
Oh,
a
yes.
science. She's an English teacher, right? And she's like teaching smut according to Sparkle Motion Mom, but she's not. It's
No, but she's the gym the health teacher.
teacher, yeah.
Fear and love,
Fear and-
bitch.
yeah.
Fear and love.
But she gets fired, and so on her way out, she writes cellar door on the chalkboard. And Donnie Darko's like, this sucks. You shouldn't be fired. You're like the one good teacher here, and yada yada. And he's like, what's up with cellar door? And she said there was this like old English writer that said of all the words and all the combinations in the English language.
Wow, true. Wow.
In the English language, cellar door is the most beautiful combination that there ever is or ever was.
I love
And
that.
that's a whole-
right.
That's this whole entire thing because it leads him to Grandma Death's cellar door to like cause like everything to end up happening.
Did you guys have a? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and that I want to get a Donnie Darko tattoo because everyone he wakes up one day on the golf course and he has 28 days, 16 hours, 5 minutes, and 36 seconds. Was that a trivia question, Lexi?
I'm double checking.
Do
I
you
don't
remember that fucking
No.
number?
No, yeah, it's something like that on his arm. So a lot of people get that. What I want to do is I want to get cellar doors tattooed on me, and the handles is going to be the bunny mask split in half. For like each door is like one half of Frank's
That's
face.
badass.
Dude, you have the best tattoo ideas.
I know. I'm
I-
cool. My life is
gotta go
dope, and I do cool shit, Brando.
Hey, that's my stamp.
Oh shit, that's right. That's yours. Yeah.
Now I was gonna ask, did you guys have like good teachers like that growing up? Did you have
Oh yeah.
that kind of experience?
High school, I had a couple good ones.
Yeah.
I think it's really important.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
teachers make or break a subject. Your relationship with school.
Yeah.
all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you,
but not
one of the
nearly as good as
reasons
Drew
why-
Barrymore.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, also fair.
We just wish she was my.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why I love history so much is I can look back from junior high, like from 7th all the way to 12th grade. Every single one of my history teachers was amazing.
Yeah.
So that's like why like I almost became a history teacher.
See, I struggled in college because I didn't. I didn't have a.
Did they have college in the 1800s?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
in that one schoolhouse, they rang the bell,
Bell, yeah.
and all the kids came running.
Oh, there was that college though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we it stops it when you turn 8.
Back in my day, college was drinking on the farm.
This is how you make a hay bale.
Hey kids, you want to learn to milk a goat?
I invented the loom.
Oh God.
So you think you have your cotton shirts to think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I love that idea of like that teacher that, because like you said, like that's so critical. And because I watched that and I'm like, I don't relate to that. I never had that one teacher that really jumped out at me that really like.
But you can also agree that it's important.
It is.
You know?
And well, I learned it was important in college because I struggled so much, and I had some good professors in college, thankfully, and I got a hold of my studies and everything and did and ended well. But yeah, I mean that's one of those things. You got to have that.
It's important.
Someone to grip you like that, man.
Oh, for sure. And then, I mean, I think Donnie Darko's great, but we do need to move on.
Dude, watch it. Yeah.
Before we move on, I just want to say that the scene where Donnie is the fear and love on the board, and he has to pick what side of the spectrum.
Is this a fear-based or love-based?
And he says that you can't just pick on those two things. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And he's like, you're not listening to me. There are other things that need to be taken into account here, like the whole spectrum of human emotion. And I just want to say that Knucklepuck also used that in a song. Thank you very much. I had to tie them both in.
Yeah,
Shout out Knucklepuck. Love you. And now I'm ready to go into, thank you,
Oh, what's our next one?
Prisoners.
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 So we had a long debate. It was either going to be Prisoners or Nightcrawler. Originally, it was going to be Nightcrawler, but you, Lexi, have never seen Prisoners before.
Oh, wow.
I didn't. And it wasn't until over Christmas. I was home and I'm laying. And my mom also, since I moved out, her office is my bedroom. And I literally was like, let me put on Prisoners. I remembered Owen bringing it up to me. I was like, I'll watch it. My mom was just listening and got so invested that she stopped working to come watch it with me. Yes! And I literally came back to Nashville and I was like, Mary, we got to watch this fucking movie. Yeah. And I watched it twice in 1 week.
Yes!
I just thought it was insane.
Dude, Prisoners. Okay, so this is the one that I think is the best Jake Gyllenhaal movie. And I agree, his best performance is Nightcrawler, but the best movie I think on the list is Prisoners. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Say that again?
Denis, Denis.
Denis Villeneuve?
Villeneuve. He's like French or something. You know how they don't pronounce all their letters.
How do you spell
it's Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve. Jake Gyllenhaal, come here. I will direct you in a scene.
Here, you must eat this baguette like it is a sensual lover.
You put this fromage in your mouth. It's like you love the fromage.
Don't chew. No teeth.
No teeth.
Just let it sink.
Let it just suck the fromage.
The milk is in your mouth like you could breathe.
It's like you smell the stinky cheese. French people are so ridiculous. Am I right?
Yeah, I'll give you that. I say as I'm taking Duolingo French.
Our French impersonation is really on though. That's a lot better than my Seth Rogen.
Oh, definitely. But also, you guys just had it like Pepe Le Pew. So.
Yeah. But hey, where's the lie? But where's the lie though? Tell me how it's wrong.
I'm gonna look up how many listeners we have in France because we just lost all of them.
Oh, we lost them all. No, so Denis Villeneuve is probably one of my he might be my favorite director who's making movies right now. Every movie he makes is a masterpiece.
What else has he done?
He did Dune.
I haven't seen that yet. But it's
that's a great one.
Yeah,
even if you're not like a nerd, Dune is fucking ridiculous.
Isn't Timothée Chalamet in it?
Mm-hmm.
So that's easy.
Okay, there you go.
It is amazing. It's just incredible. And Prisoners is it? So it's a murder mystery thriller, like a detective thriller, but it's not just about the detective. So Jake Gyllenhaal plays the detective, but it also stars Wolverine,
Hugh Jackman
as the dad.
Yes.
And
I was like, wait, where? What?
So to answer your question though, so
The
Denny,
character.
I was like, Wolverine Kevin, where was I?
Dennis Villeneuve, Dune, Blade Runner 2049, Arrival, Sicario, Enemy, which was with
Yes.
Jake
Jake
Gyllenhaal,
Gyllenhaal.
Prisoners, and then before that, there's not a whole lot.
No, Enemy was his first one, and so he's only made a handful of movies.
Yeah,
and that's what's
there's
crazy
a lot of
about
shorts.
this guy.
He directed a lot of shorts.
That's what's crazy. He's only made a handful of movies, and every one of them is absolutely spectacular. I mean, Blade Runner 2049 is one of my favorite movies of all time. The new Dune movie was incredible. It's just go see these movies. But Prisoners is one that doesn't get a lot of attention, but it is
So,
amazing.
It's
and I can tell you why. The subject matter of Prisoners is one of those untouchable subjects, right? I was reading up on this, that this script in like 2009 was rated like top 5 movie scripts that was never going to get made.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that they had to change the rating on it at least once.
It originally was going to be NC-17.
Wow. Well, so in the story is, for anyone who doesn't know, is 2 daughters of one from each family, and they're the 2 families are
So
friends.
Terrence Howard and Hugh Jackman.
neighbors.
Yeah,
technically.
they're friends and neighbors. So Terrence Howard is one dad, and Hugh Jackman's the other dad, and each one of them has a young daughter who gets kidnapped. And there's no like gross kind of
There's
sexual
no-
things
yeah,
like
there's-
that, but they do get kidnapped, and they're like tied up, and you don't know if they're alive or dead. You don't know in the whole movie. You never see them. You don't see the kids the entire, like at the very beginning and the very end.
Yep.
And you don't see them, and you don't know. That's what's great about the movie is there's so many red herrings in this, and I think it's this guy, and then it looks like it is that guy, but then it looks like it is another guy.
Yes.
And it keeps
And
doing
you're like,
that.
I don't know. I really have no idea. At this
You
point.
really
I
don't
can't, I
know.
can't tell.
And it is one of them, though. Like, that's the thing.
It
At the
is.
very end, you find out it's one of the ones they thought, but they thought like 4 or 5 of them.
Right,
So,
right.
oh, it's.
And they didn't think it nearly, I feel like, as seriously as they thought about the other one. So they just kept pushing it and pushing it.
Yeah.
And then
Every single time I watch this movie, so I'm going to say something, it's going to sound bad. I am not a huge Hugh Jackman fan.
Okay.
you know what? I'll give you that.
Outside of Wolverine, which he was born to fucking play, and we did talk about Logan a lot, and I think Logan is Hugh Jackman at his best. But this movie puts Logan close to his run. Hugh Jackman
He's
gives
amazing.
an absolutely amazing performance in this movie. It blows me away how good his performance was.
Yeah, well, that's why. So we should talk about why it's called Prisoners, and it's because of what you said. So each one of these main characters is a prisoner to something. I mean, obviously the girls are the literal prisoners of the kidnappers, but Hugh Jackman is a prisoner to his desperation.
Yeah.
And he is the desperate dad, and he does some pretty bad things in this movie. But every step of the way, you understand it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because-
you put yourself in his shoes.
Yeah,
right?
and he has to do it because he's so desperate. But then you take Jake Gyllenhaal's character, the detective, and he's a prisoner to his obsession. And what's beautiful is, like, in the beginning of the movie, he starts out, he's really kind of flippant about the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's not taking it seriously, and he's kind of on his phone when he's with but by the end of the movie, he is obsessed with solving this case, and he has to do this. And he kind of steps outside of the bounds and does something, and it's just so many characters are like, and even the bad guy, you know, the whoever that person. I don't want to spoil it.
I know. Do we not spoil it? Okay.
But
We are a spoiler podcast.
I know
we
you
are,
do
but
typically spoil
but
it.
I will
I'm
say
like, I want
this-
everyone to see this. I don't
know
want
that's
to
the thing. It's
I
like-
don't know. This might be one of Jakey G's least watched movies, in my opinion.
I would think so
don't
too. 'Cause
know a lot of
I've
people
never heard anybody say
watch Prisoners.
prisoner. Yeah.
That's crazy to me because it is so good.
Yeah.
And like I said, that villain, the bad guy, they are a prisoner to their hatred. And they have a very specific kind of hatred.
Yes.
Because it's actually tied into religious themes and stuff. And
Yes.
Which is funny because Hugh Jackman's very religious, but it's also Paul Dano.
Riddler is in
Riddler.
this.
Do you think this is a prequel to the Batman? Because Paul Dano is basically the same person in this. Yeah.
This is the Riddler origin story.
Yeah.
Watch
I also
Prisoners and then
need
Batman.
to mention that Dylan Minnette is in it, and I love him.
Wait,
He's the son.
Oh, yes!
He's amazing. He's
Oh,
in
yeah, yeah.
He's
Yes.
in
He was
13
in this-
Reasons. He's great.
He was in this show with what's his name? The bad guy from The Patriot.
Fucking...
The British guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
God damn it. And it like got canned. Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, the voice of Thrawn as well. But I forgot what that fucking was, and I remember watching. It got canceled. I think it was like some time loop show. I'll figure it out. Anyways, I'm completely off topic.
Well, he's great.
Ignore me.
He plays the son and the brother of
The big
one of his
brother,
sisters.
yeah.
And he doesn't have a huge presence in the movie, but it like each character, because even the mom, and you see how she's a prisoner to her grief.
Miss
and
Coyote Ugly herself.
yes,
Oh yeah.
and she kind of sleeps throughout the whole movie.
Yep,
And,
she just drugs herself.
yeah, and then it's just
It's
every
insane. No, it's
character is
literally
so
insane.
good in it. Yes. Oh man.
Oh, okay. I remember. The show's called Awake. It's with Jason Isaac and your boy
Dylan.
where he gets in a car crash. He's a detective and he gets in a car crash. And then every single day he wakes up in a different reality, one where his son lived and one where his wife lived.
What is
Interesting.
Harry Potter's little villain name? The little blonde kid from Slytherin. What's it?
Draco?
Yeah, Draco Malfoy.
Yeah.
He's Malfoy's
He's
dad.
also Malfoy, yeah.
That's right. He's Malfoy's dad. Yeah.
Oh.
Jason Isaac is awesome.
Jason Isaacs.
But we're talking about prisoners. Anyways,
That's what we're talking about.
that was gonna bother me.
yeah, it was going to
though, if I
bother
could
me
remember
too. But one of my favorite scenes in this was a complete and total improv scene.
Wait, what?
Yeah, in Prisoners. There's an improv scene. So when it's really cool because Hugh Jackman's character in this movie is a prepper, right? Like he even says it, pray for the best or hope for, or pray for the best, prepare for the worst, right? He's a prepper, doomsday.
Because his dad died
Yeah.
when he was a teenager.
Mhm.
So he's got some issues he's dealing with.
So he's like has a basement full ready to go just in case, he's like Nick Offerman's character in The Last of Us.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So he's willing to go. He knows what needs to be done, and he will do whatever is necessary. But Terrence Howard isn't that type of guy. He's a music teacher, whole nine yards. So they're like talking about, because Paul Dano's character is the one that is presumed to have kidnapped the girls.
Yeah, like the main suspect.
Yeah, and so he becomes a prisoner of Hugh Jackman, and
Because the
Terrence
police
Howard.
don't take it seriously.
No.
So the dad has to
too.
take things into his own hands.
So they basically torture him, like straight up.
well, literally, they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no like really blood or gore in
his face is severely swollen.
There's one
but-
scene when they're punching him in the face, and
Yeah.
it is like.
But it's
like,
I'm not
oof,
talking like
oof.
this isn't Saw.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
There's no
gross.
like
Yeah.
stabbies. And,
Yeah.
No,
not
nothing
my
like that.
type of gore.
But there is a scene. I the gore horror queen. Right
Not
over
Rob
here.
Zombie
Yeah.
gore.
Yeah. He didn't get a chainsaw taken to him. What am I even watching this for?
I was like, literally, there's no weapons.
Yeah.
There's literally maybe one that you don't even really use. So like, I don't get this.
That's the scene I'm talking about, though. Hugh Jackman grabs a hammer
Mm-hmm.
and walks in and was like he's like trying to scare Paul Dano's character into it, but you can see he's hyping himself up, trying to convince himself that he can do this, where he was literally going to take the hammer
Yeah.
to Paul Dano's hand
And do this to another human being.
and do this to him. And that's the line that he didn't want to cross but could.
And the other dad, Terrence Howard, he couldn't do
He's
it.
crying.
Yeah.
He couldn't do
So
it.
that whole scene is improv.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, when he takes the hammer to the sink and
the
stuff?
sink,
Oh,
the wall,
wow.
all of that. So they did a couple takes that was scripted, and apparently Denis Villeneuve, here's a hammer.
Yeah.
He's like, pretend that, like, he's like, this is real.
Oh.
Your daughter got kidnapped, and you know for a fact it's him.
Wow.
Go. And he's like, go. And that's the take that they ended up using, which is crazy to the extent of why Paul Dano might be one of the best actors that have ever lived.
He went with it.
He went with it and never flinched. If you notice the entire time that Hugh Jackman is swinging that hammer and he gets close to the hands, he gets close to his head,
Yeah.
Paul Dano never flinches.
Well, that's the thing. Paul Dano plays a crazy person.
Yes.
And so he doesn't react in the way that you expect a person to react to things.
yeah, he's
Right.
mentally different.
Well,
Yeah.
someone was saying too, when I was like looking more into this, they said that, when you find out his story, how he's been drugged since he was so
Yeah.
young
Yeah.
that his brain has not developed even close to what it should be for his age.
Yeah.
Well, it gets into, like, that's the thing, like what you were talking about with your mom getting like sucked in, and what you're talking about with that scene is that's indicative of the whole movie. Like this
Mhm.
movie does tension so well, like intensity.
You are
and
on the edge of your
intention.
seat
Yes.
the
The entire
entire
movie,
2
yeah.
hours.
You watch this movie and you are locked in, man.
Mhm.
And I will say that ending scene with Jake Gyllenhaal in the car,
Yes.
while with the rain
Yeah,
and on the
snow.
windshield. That is
that scene. Yeah.
that's
The
one of
final
the
scene.
the final at the end, and that is one of the most intense scene of any movie ever, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you are in it, and you genuinely do not know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's so simple because it's not like a big car chase with bazookas and stuff
Nope.
going off. It's just he's just racing somewhere through traffic, and you're just like, oh my god, and it gets crazier
But with
and crazier.
like a bullet wound because he just got shot off
Yeah.
the side of his head.
Yep.
So his vision is blurry
Oh.
because of his head trauma.
As
and
well, the
then it's
blood going into his eyes.
Yeah, and it's raining, downpouring, and he's got to get through traffic to.
That scene. I mean, like the scene that you talk about, Owen, is about halfway through the movie
yeah.
with the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many scenes sprinkled throughout because there's very subtle character stuff,
Yeah.
and then something that's really tense, but it all crescendos at the end. This movie is so perfect.
Yeah.
It's so written, directed, acted, shot. It is so perfect.
And
man.
one of my things about this movie too is there is not a single subplot, storyline, or scene that doesn't somehow tie into the main story.
Yep.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff that you're like, okay, what is this scene? Why is this a thing? Why are we spending 5-10 minutes on this? You're like, okay. And then it just never comes up again. And then at the end, you realize every single scene of this movie
plays a part.
what played a part in
Yes.
the overall story.
And what's cool about Denis Villeneuve is, as a director, like, it's not just the scenes that play a part, but also the decisions he makes as a creative person. So, like, the clothing that people are wearing, and like, because especially Jake Gyllenhaal's character, because he's got some visible tattoos on his neck, on his hands, and he's wearing a shirt that's buttoned up, and it kind of looks awkward. You can tell he's someone who's trying to fit in as a cop, but he doesn't quite fit
Yeah.
in, like, and even
that's a good
there's one line he has too about how he grew up in a boys' home,
Yep.
and how he wouldn't mind messing up this priest that he's dealing. Like, there's just little hints. There's one little line that, like, so many things sprinkled
Yeah.
throughout this movie like
Could-
that.
Denis Villeneuve be probably like the 2010s best director.
I think he's still doing it.
I mean, he's still doing it now, right? Because he has like Dune, but like a lot of his movies were the 2010s and like
Yeah.
2010s.
I think he's one of the best directors making movies now. He might be my favorite director. I mean, and everything is shot so well. Did you guys pick up on the symbolism in the movie too?
Well, that's a very broad sentence. There's
Yeah,
a lot of symbolism.
I was gonna say, can you?
Well, like, so there was a lot of like Christian iconography in it,
Yes.
with the cross tattoos, a cross hanging. Like, obviously Hugh Jackman, he prays a lot, and the
the
villain
priest.
is on at war with God and trying to get people to lose their faith. And Hugh Jackman goes through that whole character arc, and then at the very end, he's got, like, he prays again. But then there's also a lot of pagan iconography too, with the tree of life.
Yes.
Have you noticed how Denis Villeneuve, as a director, he'll take the camera and the shot will linger on a lot of trees,
Yeah.
or the branch that goes through the
That wasn't a good Hugh Jackman movie, though.
the tree of life.
Tree of Life.
But like that symbology of this is the tree, and the shot will linger on that because it's symbolic of life and stuff. But then you have that broken off branch that's dripping wet, that the camper ran into,
Right.
and then got impaled by.
Yeah, that they take into the courtroom. I mean, into
Yeah.
the police interrogation
Yes,
thing, and
yes.
you just zoom in on it at the end.
Yes, there's so many, like, visually. If you look at what the visual subject is, it's like that is a symbol of what's happened. Like, life is broken, and there's even the maze.
The
you
maze
see-
itself, because
Yeah.
like it's an unsolvable maze, which makes you a prisoner of the maze.
Yes,
which is a
it-
allegory for
you're
faith.
trapped.
Can I ask then also, because I feel like one of the big things, I'm curious if this ties in. I would actually love to see it tie in. But the snakes,
Yes.
that ties in as well.
Yes. So there, it depending on where you want to go with that, but a very big.
Taking it all angles.
Yeah,
Baby,
okay.
let's
Well,
get it.
for me, it's the snakes is a ritual of passage sometimes that a lot of I will say a lot more of the cult like side of Christianity can come into.
Okay.
So was it Paul? Was it Paul that got bitten by the snake?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I think Paul, one of the apostle Paul,
but he doesn't die from the
he
venom.
gets
'Cause
bitten.
all I
He
can
gets
think of
bitten
is,
by
like,
a
Adam and
poisonous
Eve.
snake.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, snake is representative of, like,
No,
Lucifer.
I think it's more
but-
towards So Paul gets bitten by a poisonous snake and doesn't die from it. So like the Southboro Baptist Church, the crazy Southboro Baptist Church,
Westboro Baptist.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sorry, Westboro
Which
Baptist
is a
Church.
very small church.
Very
by the
small
way.
church.
They're
but
just crazy.
Crazy. Like there are churches that will like worship on Sundays with poisonous
they hold
snakes
snakes
and hold
and stuff,
snakes and stuff like that because they think that's what you do.
See, that's fucking unfortunate because I love snakes. I would love to pray with snakes, and y'all got to go and fuck it up.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, you know how there's like goat yoga? If there was like snake services, give me some snake services, and I'll be praying to all the gods.
Snake Pilates.
Like, literally, you tell me what God we're praying to. If there's snakes, I'm gonna be there.
Well, so my favorite of the symbolism is with all of the Tree of Life stuff.
Symbolism.
With the Tree of Life stuff, if you notice, Hugh Jackman, because he's a carpenter, when he is building the prison for his person that he's taking captive, he is sawing through pieces of wood.
Yes.
And I just loved it. Was so subtle, but that's the only time. Like, it was with all the tree as a symbol of life.
Yeah.
He has to cut the symbol of life. And that's also at the same time in the story where he is dehumanizing himself so that he can dehumanize his captive.
I have a question for you on this.
Sorry, I just love that.
Were you hitting the joint while watching this movie?
I wasn't. I think this movie is amazing, though, man. This movie is amazing.
Did you hear he had a fun experience a couple weeks ago?
Yeah,
Without me?
Sarah,
Yeah.
Sarah and
why
I
it
got
was
that
good.
mild stuff, not that intense stuff that you get.
I'm sorry. I don't know where she comes from.
So I love it. We haven't really gave ratings to any of these movies, but I would easily all three movies: Tommy Boy, Bubble Boy,
Tommy Boy's great. Too.
it is Donnie Darko and Prisoners. 5 out of 5 each one of these in its own right is 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
for me.
Bubble Boy. I think I might have given it like a 3 out of 5.
But for comedy factor,
Change your standing.
Yeah, but for
pledge allegiance to the flag until it goes away.
Thank you. I was going to bring that scene up, and I was so mad we didn't talk about it, but that's okay.
Pledge allegiance to the flag. He looks down.
He's so scared.
Mom, what is this?
He's so scared.
That gets rid of your boner. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
That's what I tell your father.
Prisoner is easily 5 out of 5 stars. This is one of the best movies from one of the best directors. If you haven't seen Prisoners, you are in for a treat, baby.
Yeah, I will say 100%. 5 of 5 across the board for me, Lexi.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty close to that.
So I'm gonna give us a couple minutes here. I want to dedicate to some other one of his movies because there is something kind of interesting. So I've made the joke a lot about Prince of Persia. Like I think I made it last week on the Pirates of the Caribbean episode.
Yeah.
And this week with Jake Gyllenhaal being in, it's a Jerry Bruckheimer film. It's not good.
No,
it is a terrible movie. Jake Gyllenhaal is awesome and very, very buff in that movie.
he's
which
great.
is great.
Yeah.
But that was such Jake Gyllenhaal had never done a blockbuster. That was his first like real big like summer blockbuster was Prince of Persia, right?
Oh man, that sucks, man.
And it was such a bad experience for him that he's like, I'm never doing this again.
Oh, wow.
And it didn't, and funny enough, it took him like over a decade to do that. And finally he came back for Spider-Man, Far From Home.
Far From Home.
And he came back to do that. But he only said yes because he wasn't going to be returning and he was the villain, not the good guy.
Yeah. And that to this day is his highest grossing film he's ever done.
Yeah, that's unfair though. I mean, of course, any movie that an actor's in that's a Marvel movie is going to be their highest grossing movie. But there is a movie. I know we talked a lot about Nightcrawler, but did you guys watch Southpaw? Have you seen Southpaw?
No.
His
I
boxing movie.
I started. I haven't finished it
Is
yet.
it a boxing?
It's a boxing movie.
He is huge in that
is.
movie.
There's not an ounce of fucking fat on him. He is just one giant muscle in that movie.
Jacked in that, and it is real. Like
jacked.
yes, he is huge, jacked, man.
And so Southpaw, it's a boxing movie. He's 43-0 boxer. So he's undefeated. He's considered the best in the whole 9 yards. And then some like young, but he's a little bit older, some like young up and coming boxer is like trying to goad him into a match. But he's like trying to do it in a way to like, he's like trying to create a rivalry, the showmanship and stuff like that. But then he takes it too far one day. And they get into a fight at a charity event. Someone pulls a gun and accidentally shoots Jake Gyllenhaal's wife, Rachel McAdams.
Of course, as Rachel.
Yeah.
McAdams.
Oh wow.
And that's like the first like 10 minutes of the movie right there. So it's his journey to like, and they have a daughter together. He ends up like losing all his money. He loses his friends. He loses the house. He ends up losing his daughter.
Oh wow.
and she's like in the system. So it's like his journey to like, instead of being like the Playboy boxer,
the
of,
guy
like,
on top.
the guy on top, it's he literally goes from like hero to zero,
Like
and it's his
rock
journey
bottom.
from zero back to hero, getting his daughter back. It is, I am not kidding you,
I gotta check this one out.
Yeah, that
it is a
sounds
tear.
great.
You bring the fucking tissues. It's a tearjerker. It's a
No.
great movie. And Jake Gyllenhaal. It's another one of those movies. You watch it and you're like, I can't believe this is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Ooh, I got to say. Another great one. I know we mentioned it. Is Zodiac.
Yep.
Mhm.
Zodiac is amazing. It's directed by David Fincher, and Jake Gyllenhaal is not like the main character. He's one of the main characters.
Yeah, he's in it enough.
Yeah, he's definitely a Jake Gyllenhaal movie. But it's got one scene in particular. It's about the Zodiac killer, and it's like based on a true story from the 70s. And it's got one scene in particular.
So
that-
I just pulled up a picture of Jake Gyllenhaal on Southpaw and
Oh.
turned it towards Lexi.
That doesn't even look like
Look,
him.
I know I'm not kidding. He's super jacked. Oh yes.
yeah.
How did he do that?
How long did he train for it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like Christian Bale, right? Like Christian Bale also does weird body transformations, and Jake Gyllenhaal does
From
this
that
too.
to Nightcrawler,
Well,
that's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Couldn't it be me?
But anyway, so Zodiac's got this one scene in particular with the Zodiac killer that you watch this one scene and it'll stick with you for the rest of your life. And it is so. Have you seen Zodiac?
Yeah, I haven't. Honestly, I definitely have seen it, but it's been a minute.
The couple who's at the lake. I don't know if you remember that scene.
God, yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
That scene. And I think of that scene every
I'm gonna
now
have
and
to
then.
rewatch it.
From time.
Yeah.
That movie.
We should have a Jakey G movie
Let's go.
marathon.
I'm
Let's
in,
do it.
baby.
Bring Sarah. Let's go.
I'm
I'll
in.
bake some cookies.
I'm fucking down. Like there's
sober cookies.
he did a movie with Ryan Reynolds called Life that was weird.
Yeah, that one.
that
That was
seems
the outer
a little bit.
space one.
Yeah.
The prequel to Venom.
I thought it was a prequel to
Venom,
What are you about to say? What are you about to say right
to
now?
Cloverfield.
Ah, okay, there we go. No,
Yeah.
they're in the space station and there's an alien monster thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a Jake Gyllenhaal movie I refuse to see though.
Yeah.
Which is-
Ambulance.
Oh yeah.
That looked so bad.
What is it? Is he just in an ambulance?
No, he's a bank robber
Who hijacks an ambulance?
who hijacks an ambulance, and it takes place in L.A. So it's
No,
is how they, like,
Lost
look.
me
Oh,
there.
Wow.
Yeah, and like it's like,
Terrible.
but there's like a gunshot victim in the ambulance. That's a police officer that they shot. And it's like this whole thing. It's a Michael Bay movie. I'll just say that it's Michael Bay.
And
Yeah,
we
skippable.
did mention Nightcrawler enough, but like Nightcrawler's another one of those like, gosh, go see.
He doesn't blink.
talk
No, he
about
doesn't
L.A.
blink.
Talk
Yeah.
about Los Angeles. That is.
I have one note about Nightcrawler, and it literally says in all caps, he fucking dragged a dead body for a better shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was some Gale Weathers type shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
so there's a movie that we talked about in one of my favorite. It's Collateral with Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Nightcrawler is very similar.
Yes.
In all aspects to it, where it's like it is coyote based and things like that. Like Jake Gyllenhaal lost all that weight because he wanted to look like a hungry coyote,
Interesting.
Oh, he
just
does.
ravenous.
He does look ravenous.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
ravenous.
Yeah,
That's a good word.
That's really a good way to put it, because I would also describe that character as a hungry coyote.
And Los Angeles is a character in the movie also.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
if you've been to LA, you'll watch this
It's-
movie and you'll be like, okay,
It's
I see.
funny while watching that movie. I mean, pretty much any movie that actually is filmed and takes place in LA, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we got a stabbing in Corona. It's like, I don't care about a fucking stabbing in Corona. I'm like, yeah, nobody does because it happens every goddamn night because it's Corona.
Oh, so
yeah.
many good movies.
Dude,
this was such a good idea, Lexi.
yeah.
This was such a
guys.
yes.
And I've talked about this before. It's like, I've always been a cinephile. I love movies. It's always been part of like my culture and just what I enjoy doing. And one of the fun things about Banter and such is taking these things and then starting to look at it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like we're not really a movie review or analytical
We
podcast.
don't analyze. We
yeah.
just talk shit.
We just talk shit and have fun. But
No,
like we
you
try to
kinda
bring some fun
do,
stuff to
yeah.
it.
But like it's also a learning experience.
Yeah.
Because everyone has different takes, everyone does different research, everyone has different knowledge.
Yeah.
And I love being able to just come here, talk to friends and,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
learn.
Well, that's
you
the
know?
thing. Like when you sit down with some friends and when you have a conversation about movies, which is what Banter and such is,
yeah.
Yeah.
it makes you then watch movies and appreciate them in a whole new way. And it's so much more of a fun experience.
Yeah.
so
But it's like
beautiful,
it was just cool to watch Jake Gyllenhaal.
I love you guys, man.
Oh my god.
I fucking love you guys.
Good, because I have another idea for as soon as we end this episode.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, we just it's just watching Jake Gyllenhaal and like thinking about it a little bit more critical way, which just was very fun for me the past like 2 weeks.
Have we gone long?
It's an hour 15 already.
Hell yeah, baby.
All right, here we go.
It's trivia time.
It's a terrible day. It's a terrible, no good, bad
It's
day.
a great day here at the Helios Network.
I knew you were
so funny.
I knew you were gonna say it.
Because Brando has to spin the wheel of shit.
I do.
Yeah. All right. Once again, people ask us like, "Why do you do this? This is a podcast." I'm like, "Yeah, we posted on Instagram.
Check it. This is a way to connect.
Yeah, see us on Instagram and Twitter.
And
I got a
Twitter.
Twitter now.
Yeah,
I twat.
How many followers do we have on Instagram?
Almost like I want to say like 600-700.
6, 7. Okay, we're getting up there on Twitter too.
Yeah.
I'm excited because Owen does the Instagram and I do the Twitter.
Yeah,
I'll be more interactive with the Twitter now that I know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel kind of competitive.
You should.
All right, go ahead and give us a spin,
All right, let's
Brando.
do it. Here we go. What color?
What light blue or just blue?
All right, that is. I have written Sean Connery.
What?
If it's blue, you have to talk with a Sean Connery voice.
All right, give us your version.
Careful, Ryan. Some things down here don't react well to bullets.
That might be your best impression all episode.
That totally beats my Seth Rogen. Vashelli, one ping
ping,
only,
please.
please.
Vashelli, one ping.
Then his James Bond is, I do it all for the pushy.
The what?
Yes.
Come on. The what?
The pushy.
So you could take that
Money penny.
and stick it up your.
Is your name Octopushy?
So sorry. It's perfect size for me. All right, Lexi.
You're the man now, dog. You know that was a website? You're the man now, dog.com.
Okay. Anyways, Lexi, go ahead and give us some trivia here.
Okay. I will give you a heads up that 2 of them I'm going to keep in here. We did already talk about it, and I know
Okay.
you guys are going to know the answer, so they're just going to be bonus fun questions.
Sometimes, honestly, a lot of the time, Brando and I, we don't remember what we talk
No,
about.
you will. I'm going to tell you. You definitely will.
What? Who are we talking about again tonight?
Exactly.
Okay.
I've had a few twisted teas and I haven't had
Whoop,
dinner yet.
whoop,
So
whoop.
Okay, sweet.
Woo, woo. Okay, first one. There's one song that plays 3 times in The Bubble Boy. Do you know what song it is?
Oh, shit, I do. I'm trying to remember the exact one, though.
I think I
Because
know.
one song plays twice, but there's only one song
that plays 3 times.
Is it? I don't want to.
You can sing it. You can give me a name.
I have a guess. I have a guess.
I know the artist.
Okay. All right. What's your yeah?
Is
go
it the Bright and Shiny song? They're like,
Oh,
Bright and shiny. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Is it the Blink 182 song?
It is. It's Damn It by Blink-182.
Ah!
I guess this is growing up.
Oh, yeah.
The Offspring is the song that plays
Oh, yeah.
twice.
Oh.
Offspring. Another great soundtrack.
But how many
Yeah.
times do they sing Bright and Shiny? though?
How many times
I
do
should've
they say
counted.
$500?
Also, they have that Beach Boys song. Wouldn't
Wish
it be nice?
they all could be $500.
Sure, for you.
Please,
yes.
please don't cancel us.
We're sorry.
Okay.
We're quoting a movie. This isn't.
Yeah, there's
me.
quotation marks
Yeah,
flying around
yeah,
here all over. You just can't see them.
yeah.
Okay, what is Chloe and Jimmy's favorite TV show?
Oh, I got. Oh, this is easy.
Yeah, I know it.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Land
of the Lost.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
2-1.
And that's what he plays on the guitar too.
Yeah.
When he gets and he's playing the Land of the Lost. And Sarah was like, "Is he doing that because that's the only song he knows?"
Yes.
Yes.
But he's rocking out the Land of the Lost.
That's also such a cute and wholesome scene.
Yes. Oh, he thinks he's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, he should. He should feel cool.
Not with that fucking haircut.
He gives me like Ace Ventura vibes.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
I see that.
All right. Which actor plays the bus stop employee?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
Zach
There
Galifianakis.
you go.
Yeah, there we go. And he's young too.
Yeah.
Like he's an actual
Yeah.
young looking Zach Galifianakis.
I love him.
I don't know. That's another guy who hasn't really aged.
Well, here's the thing, too, and it's my main principle, and I've told you this so many times, facial hair fucks me up. Like, if you have a full beard and then don't have a full... I've never met that man in my life. Like, I have no idea who you are.
Guess what's going to happen next time you see me?
Don't even think about it. Jonathan, I'm still getting used to him. I'm like, I don't know you.
If I shaved my beard, I think I would traumatize my kids.
Oh, probably.
Oh, definitely.
I couldn't do it.
Oh, definitely. All right, what is Seth Rogen's first line in Donnie Darko? And it's actually his first line ever. This is like debut.
Oh, I think I know this one.
Oh.
And it's so Seth Rogen.
It is very.
It's so Seth Rogen.
It's either, I don't know what he says, but I know it's about either his dick or a joint.
Nope.
Damn it.
I like your boobs.
It is. I like your boobs.
I'm sorry that I know that one to my listeners.
No. I'm so glad you did. I didn't want to have to be the one to be like, guys, why am I the only one? All right. How many days did it take to film Donnie Darko? I can give a hint if necessary.
Okay.
Give us a hint.
Okay, the hint's going to make it really easy, though.
Oh, gosh.
How many days are written on his arm?
Oh, 28.
26?
28.
28.
Isn't that crazy? The
That's
world ends in
weird.
28 days,
28
and they filmed it in 28 days.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's
Love
crazy,
that.
yeah. That's not long, too. Like,
No.
28 days is not long.
Especially for a fucking 2.5-hour movie.
No,
Like,
but you have to
Jesus
remember,
Christ.
like, movies back then did not take long to film because there wasn't, like, the special effects and
yeah, I know, that's
reshoots and all
true.
that shit now. Like,
And it's more of an indie film, so it's not like
Yeah.
a big blockbuster.
Yeah, and
they-
I feel like their locations, I don't know, I didn't
Yeah.
do any research, but I feel like they were all like around the corner from each other. So
Probably.
they didn't have to like go very far.
Seth Rogen's real neighborhood.
Yeah, probably. Where his Airbnb is located now.
Oh, gosh.
Seth Rogen was just like the fat kid at the bus stop.
They're like, yeah, you're perfect.
Hey, you want to be in a movie? Yeah. Yeah, I want to be in a movie.
I like
Can
your
I talk
boobs.
about boobs? I like your boobs. Hey, film that. Film that. That's good. Say it again,
You
kid.
guys rolling. All right, we're going to switch movies now.
Okay. All right.
All right. What song were the girls singing that makes Hugh Jackman think that Alex took them?
Oh, I know.
I know this one.
You do?
Oh, yeah. Batman smells Robin
Robin
laid
laid
egg.
The Jingle Bells Batman version.
Yeah, it is.
How does it start? What's the first line?
Jingle bells.
Batman smells Robin laid
Yeah,
an
that's it.
egg.
Yeah.
Batmobile
Lost a wheel and Joker got away. Hey!
Oh, we're all kids again. That's cute. What state did Prisoners take place in?
Oh, damn. That is tough because I remember watching the movie thinking that
I
exact thing.
think I know this one.
The only clue is license plates, really.
Yeah.
I don't remember the license. I don't remember. I have a guess.
I think it's in the Northeast.
I was going to say Ohio.
I'm going to say Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Boom.
how did you know that? How are you a better guesser than me?
All right, I got two left. It's the make or break.
All right.
And you guys will know the answer to one of them. At
I
least.
think I'm 100% right now. Because you said you had 9 questions. I'm 7 questions. I got
Yes.
7.
Damn it.
Wow.
How many have I gotten?
3.
We love you, Brando.
Don't laugh like that,
We
Lexi.
love you, Brando. I come here for you, Brando.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Also, Hugh Jackman's character, we never got to talk about it. He has the coolest character name I've ever heard. His name is Kellen Dover.
Dover,
Like, that's
yeah.
a pretty
Yes.
fucking cool name, Kellen
Yes.
Dover.
Yeah.
Sounds like you own a construction company. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when he's torturing Alex
Mm-hmm.
in the bathroom and has the hammer in his hand, does he A, hit Alex, B, hit the sink, or C, hit the toilet?
Oh, yeah. We know this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's the sink.
It's B. It's sink.
The sink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Do you know? So his name, is it Keller or Kellen? Or
It might be Keller.
the Keller.
I think
but
I autocorrected.
I think it was in
Keller.
I think in German, his name means like basement. It's like cellar. Like
shit.
basement, yeah.
Bring it back to cellar door, baby.
Yeah.
Bring it back to cellar door.
It's all one cinematic universe.
Ooh, really?
The Gyllenhaal cinematic
it is,
universe.
It is. You didn't really think about
Keller
it.
is German for cellar master,
Yeah.
which is
Wow.
what he was all about. His
Yeah.
cellar.
Yeah, there you go. Going down to the basement.
of my cellar.
All right, you guys ready for the last?
Get out of my cellar! They pop those claws. And you're like, oh,
Yeah,
shit. It's part of Marvel too.
And then just Beetlejuice is.
Why is Mini-Me and he's now in the Marvel Cinematic
Yeah.
Universe?
Oh man.
All right, fellas, last question. When is her name Anna, the daughter?
In what?
In Prisoners.
Daughter.
Sorry.
I don't
the
know.
daughter.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman's daughter.
Hannah. I think it was Hannah.
Anna. Okay. Anyways, that bitch.
Yeah. I love how you have that key.
Yeah. Anna. It is Anna.
Anna. Okay.
Anna, okay.
Yeah.
Anna leaves to go back to her house to find what?
Oh yeah, I know this one too.
I know.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Her
Red whistle.
Whistle.
Yeah, that's it. I'm so proud of
Emergency
you
whistle.
guys.
Wow, I got 9 of 9 correct.
That's nice.
And
You
Brando,
did not.
you
Just
got
rub it
5.
in your face.
Good for you. Brando,
did
you got 5.
Yeah, that's more than half.
Yep.
We don't try to make me feel better. You did good, buddy.
Yeah. High
I'm
five.
sorry, Brando. I can't help you.
I'm not the
This
fucking
guy
bubble boy,
knows- He
okay?
fucking knows
That is
everything.
average, Brando.
He just knows everything. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna do another Batman episode.
Let's fucking go. So the final score is 9 to 5. I have 89 points, and you
Dolly
have
Parton.
85 points.
All right.
You should have said the score was Dolly Parton. How'd you miss that? Working 9 to 5.
Ooh, nice.
Na, 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 na.
We've been neck and neck
I
all
don't-
season long.
I don't understand that reference.
Thank God you're already sitting down. I'll tell you to take a seat.
Beating you at trivia is harder than being a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. That's a Dolly Parton line, by the way.
It is, yes. I'm aware.
I'm glad you used it.
I waited so long to use that. I was like, this is my chance.
This
Yeah.
is the perfect opportunity.
Lexi, you are amazing. Every time you are on the show, you are amazing, and everyone loves you. Where can they find you and see all your you're legitimately awesome. Is it cosplay? Is that the right word?
I don't know. It started as a hobby. I started doing like SFX and gory stuff just for funsies.
Yeah.
But if you want to check it out, it's Lexi Redding, LEXIE REDDING on Instagram, and that's really all you need.
And it's like really good stuff. And Owen's
Yeah.
in some of it too.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
to be her Jason Voorhees for Halloween,
Yeah, you
which was
did.
fucking dope. Lexi hated me that day.
No. The worst part. The worst part was when we were doing that. We're doing this scene, and he's literally standing over me with this fake machete or axe or something, and it's so hot outside that he's
Oh, it's
literally
disgusting.
just
And he's
dripping.
wearing like the overalls.
No. He was in like this massive jacket, like a mask, and not just a mask, like a head with the mask.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it was
that's right.
like 1,000 degrees. And thank God I got him to stick it out with me, but he's literally just dripping sweat on my face, and I'm trying not to laugh because I'm like, Owen, you're dripping on me.
She's like the entire time is like joking around, trying to be jovial, and I am not.
He's like, I will not break
I'm not
character."
because I'm full get up. The only thing I can provide besides like a posture is my eyes. So she's cracking jokes and like trying to get me to break, and I am like, I am Jason, and I'm gonna murder you right now.
I am really going to kill
Kill
you.
you. And she's like, hey, will you go in the water? It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go in the water.
I
And
was
so
like,
yeah.
thank you, Jesus. Yeah, if you guys want to see them, they came out really fucking amazing. Thank you, Owen. Thank you to my friend Tony.
Yeah.
They're
Tony was
awesome.
great.
All right, I rewrote the outro script, so just read what I wrote.
You can find us on Instagram and Twitter too. The links are in the show description.
And we're proud members of the Helios Network, a collection of great podcasts made by regular people.
Yes, check us out at www.theheliosnetwork.com to see some of our merch and other amazing podcasts. We talked about them, but Master and Debaters, we got those cool ass hats coming out soon.
Woo, woo,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
We had Master Debaters, great. It's Puck, Alex Spencer. All three of them have been on Banter and such before, and they debate the softest of topics with their hardest opinions.
Best
And-
boys to do it.
Yeah, like is coffee just hot bean soup?
Oh gosh, that one messes me up still to this day. That makes me
Yeah.
angry.
If you had a superpower, would you rather it be super strength, but every single time you come, you shit? Or
Who thinks of this?
X-ray vision, but every single time you see nudity, it gets censored?
Just
That was like, I legitimately asked them that question on the Marvel versus DC episode.
not fair.
That's a good one.
And-
Comment on our Instagram. Which one do you
Yeah,
choose?
there you go. For all of our Patreon subscribers, stay with us till after the outro music because we have the extended bonus banter coming up exclusively for you.
Yes, and if you want to hear our bonus banter,
It's written down, Owen.
it's my first time reading this, legitimately.
It's his first time reading, period.
Yeah, also. What are these sage symbols? Is this Kryptonian?
Sound it out.
Yeah. For the hoes who want to subscribe to our Patreon, link is in the show description. It gets you access to our bonus banter.
Well, I love you all, and thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Banter and Such.
Oh, next week I'm so excited. I can't believe it's finally here. We're going to be talking about the absolutely fantastic movie,
Yep.
Cocaine Bear,
Yes.
based on a real story.
Oh, yeah, baby.
With we're having Nick Perrin from Tabletop back
Yes.
on, and it's going to be hilarious. Lexi,
right.
are you okay? Have you not heard about this movie?
No, I saw the trailer in the movie theater. I just can't believe you guys are doing it so fast.
Yeah, Nick wanted to do Cocaine Bear,
Is
so
it out
we're doing
already?
it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Did you guys go?
Oh,
Not
and I
yet.
haven't seen
Not
it
yet.
yet.
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
going to be. Okay,
definitely.
yeah, we'll go together. All right, well, I'm Brando.
And I'm Owen.
And until next time, may your week be filled with BS.
Cocaine! Okay.
And we're back.
We're back with bonus banter.
Should I chug an entire Twisted Tea on bonus
Go
banter?
for it. Yeah.
Should we just all just finish our beverages?
Did I have another one? Did you take?
Owen took it.
Oh, okay.
Do you need this? We could split it.
No, I'm fine.
I have
Oh,
a
you're both
whole
empty.
I have a whole other 12 pack in the fridge.
Yeah, but
Tweet,
No,
sponsor us.
Are we playing D&D tomorrow?
Yes. Yeah.
It's been
You-
2 weeks, man.
You responded on our group chat.
Yeah, but you know. Are you pouring
Yeah,
Twisted
that's
Tea
right.
from one
Yeah, that's right.
can
You're
to the
Android, so nothing matters to you. To our basic iPhone users.
You know, I love the harassment I get from iPhone users.
Yeah. Good.
I mean, you have to, or else you would get an iPhone.
Dude, I just can't be in the
Dude,
system.
what-
Like, you
what
got to
do
be
you-
in the whole
what-
ecosystem. then.
Jakey G, what do you think? iPhone or Android user?
Oh, iPhone.
No.
He's too much of a businessman.
He's a weird guy. He's one of my Android bros.